Hello everyone, this is Tony from Two Copper Pieces. I'm the beardless one, and this is issue 10 of Stormbringer from Games Workshop, the subscription magazine that delivers some minis or some paints or some other stuff to your door whenever they feel like it. As it seems, and then they take your money whenever they feel like it. So not quite a weekly subscription. And yeah, this is a bit of a look at what you get. Sometimes I read some of the lore and pass comment on the quality of it. I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to tell you why. I recorded this quite some time ago, and some of you may have noticed I've taken a bit of a break from these, and that's because I've been snowed under with work. I'm just getting back into this. And I'm doing the voiceover now, and you can expect a deluge of these videos coming up because I've got 10 issues to get through in a short amount of time. And it might not seem quite worth it, given that I'm not really up to date with them, but I said I was going to do them, and I'm going to do them, and I like the sort of content for the people that do them and the things they talk about and that sort of thing, so I'm hoping that some of you like it for that as well. That being said, I've also got some quite exciting news. I've joined the Golden Lemon Network, which is a network of content creators who do minis and crafting and stuff like that. We have a Discord where you can come and share your ideas and get and talk to us and share your own crafts and paints and tips and skills, etc. Ask for help, all of that. So you'll find the link to that in the description below. And you'll also notice the Golden Lemon logo. That's that. The Discord is free to join, and I think that's it. There are other creators as well in the network that are great. I'm sure they're great. So with this video, as you can see, going through the classic style that I have forged here of showing you how I snip out all the bits. You can see some of the bits up close. It's a really good idea to place the bits on the guide that they give you so that they're easy to assemble. Gotta say, the bases that they provide, I really like these intricate looking plastic bases. They're brilliant. I think all minis should come with such fancy bases so that you don't have to put some sand on them and pretend that they look realistic or something like that. These bases, it's a really good way to get the minis looking like they're in an environment, looking dynamic, and you don't have to put any thought into what they might be doing or telling the story of the mini on the base and all this other pretentious stuff that a lot of brilliant mini painters like to tell you about in their videos. I really like that it just takes all of that out of it. When I base, I usually use some base ready from Geek Gaming Scenics. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just really good. Covered in glue, dunk your base in there, off you go. I've also made my own version. I've got a video for that, which I'm not going to link because, who's got the time for that? Now, you'll find the video. It's my most popular video on the channel, so you'll see it if you want to find it. But yeah, very easy way to base. But with these bases, you don't need to. No worries, and not at all. And I like that they've got poses and they've thought about how the minis are going to stand on them. What I really don't like about any of these minis is this whole push fit system's good. I like the push fit system. What I don't like is how they're all fiddly and lots of tiny little bits that you have to attach. Like some minis I've got which are not Games Workshop ones, they're kind of like bigger, chunkier minis, and they have bits that you have to attach. But they think about where the joins go, and therefore when you glue them together you don't really have to do any work with the seams and stuff like that, because oh my gosh, this is a hobby. This is not a job. I don't want to be filling in seams and drilling holes in the end and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys love it. You probably think this is blasphemy, but no, it's the worst part of this for me. I like painting the things. That's what I like doing. I like painting them. I like making them look cool. I like painting them in my way. The way they tell you how to paint them in these books is really tedious, and it doesn't give the most efficient good result. I'm sure eventually you get a good result, but I mean, who's got the time to paint in the way they want you to paint them? And yes, good result, better result than a more efficient and enjoyable way of painting. I think that's debatable. I certainly don't think so, but I'm sure some of you out there are like, yeah, heavy metal is the only way to paint. Regardless of that, it is what it is. Now this mini, you'll see that bow and arrow there. That was a terrible idea, right? It's got a tiny little thin bit of plastic that's supposed to be the string on the bow and arrow. It's got hands on it, like little hands on it that you're supposed to attach to the Mini, and the arrow hanging off the end is also pretty flimsy, as you can imagine, and I'm not going to apologize for it breaking. That's their fault. Don't make a Mini like that, right? I've like resin cast Minis, plastic cast Minis from WizKids or from Reaper or anything like that. They considered how like durable their Minis are, and okay, these are incredibly detailed casts that Games Workshop are doing, but sometimes it's good to think about the durability of the Minis that you're going to be playing with in your war game, and that you have to push fit together like this. Make a practical choice, right? Because that string, okay, strings on bows are really thin, but in terms of scale, that's basically a rope on that string. That's basically a rope on that bow, so that's not to scale. And in that size, it's incredibly thin and flimsy, and it's going to break. So why do it like that? It's not a good idea. Sorry, Games Workshop, and sorry anyone that wants to defend it. It's a terrible, terrible idea. Now, some of these minis, I really like this owl. It's quite nice. Easy to put together. I like how the minis attach to the bases. That generally works really well. See, it's nicely slotted together. Oh, look at that cut on my finger. I must have been going through some rough times back then. 2 cuts on my finger. My gosh. I was in the wars that day. But yeah, I like how as you can see, it's a bit of a struggle to fit them in sometimes, but once it goes in, it fits in really nicely. It would probably be fine to pop that in and not even glue it, but I will add some super glue. I like how when they push in, you can add some super glue on the bottom and it will just seep in and keep it in place. It's great. Here is their painting advice, of which they have some. Paint the blue things blue and the gold things gold. Don't prime them. That's if paint the metal things metal. Yep. And paint the brown things brown. As far as I can tell, that's their advice. This is a base coat. This is their idea of a base coat, and then you'll go back in with details later. Like, once again, yes, if you follow these steps, and you have a really steady hand, you'll end up with a very well painted Mini. But it's not, for me, a particularly pleasurable way to paint. It's not the easiest way to paint. It's not guaranteed to be the most effective way to paint. You can paint equally effective in much more interesting, enjoyable way, and I'll be releasing more painting videos as we go along. It's about time some of these minis got painted, and I'm not going to paint them the way they ask because I just don't have the time. Right, so join our Discord at the Golden Lemon Network. Here are the finished products. You can see that I shaved off that guy's head when I was using the clippers, so I guess it's probably lost a few IQ points. And if you like the video, subscribe, share, leave a comment, tell me if I'm wrong about how annoying Games Workshop are. Maybe they're brilliant and I'm just getting it wrong. Tell me, feel free. Until next time, bye-bye.